Well, in terms of mining, it will constrict the ability of EPA to read unintended meanings into the legislation. It will curb the length of time that iwi have to be consulted with and put a discipline on that process. And more importantly, it will stop people who don't have a genuine third-party interest joining the fray, thus getting appeal rights to ruin the prospects of mining.
And the critical question for me here is the governmental policy statements that you can put out. When you say, let's say gold mining is important, is that saying that that's going to put it at the top of the queue?
Well, what it's going to do is going to highlight why the government believes that certain affairs are of great importance, whether it's critical minerals, geothermal, because as you know, I'm in the business of trying to double geothermal. Look, it's our attempt as a government to give a clear, unfettered message as to what we were elected to achieve, and using the fast track as a basis for rapidly consenting economic investments.
Well, Minister, your views on the Education Minister taking up treaty obligations for the school boards to adhere to? The Education Minister taking out the treaty obligations from school boards to adhere to or to uphold within their
Oh yeah. So our coalition agreement agreed that the Treaty of Waitangi should not be included in every single statutory document or law, and no doubt individual communities will be capable of embracing aspects of the treaty that suit their community.
What are your thoughts with the latest on Te Pāti Māori?
Well, it's more in sadness than anger, but you've got to front up. I'm a politician with a history of colourful lapses, so I know how difficult it is to front up. But the reality is, and a lot of our young people sit in the Māori Party, and they've got to front up and justify why they're endeavouring to lacerate each other.
Do you have any preference on whether the Māori Party should be led by the likes of John Tamihere or Takura Ferris and Maria Meno Kapukini?
Well, obviously, we've got a strong regard for Maria Meno. She's from the north. She's got a very strong track record of working in iwi affairs, but at the end of the day, it's up to them to determine whether JT survives or not. But I do think that people who are not fronting up are selling the voters short.
Do you reckon it is time for JT to go, in your personal views?
Oh, look, JT and I went to university in 78, 79. We've been sparring partners for a long time. I'll leave that up to the Māori Party.
Ka tae te whakatute reo Māori pana ki ngā raru i Waikato i te Pāti Māori. Ka tae te whakatute reo.
Taku Pauri, ko ngangau a JT ki wana me mano. Ka reo e kite ana me pēhea rana i te iwi e awhi mai a rātou ki te noho tonu i tēnei ngārara wehe waingatumi a rātou. Tikana ngā o tātou toronga kia nanu i tā rātou tautoko i te Pāti Māori, ka tā mai ki konei, ka huri ki te whakaparahako i a rātou anō.
E whakaena koe pana ki ngā iwi chairs to the intervention and wanting to pull hui, hea whakaru pana ki tēnā?
Ro noa JT e pakangana ki ngā iwi chairs. Mehe mea kite ana rātou ki tahi rongoa, kei a rātou anō tērā. Engari, ko te hunga e whai mana ana i roto i te aotoranga pū ko ngā kaipōti harako ngā upoko ngā iwi.
On the fast track changes.
No, it's proceeding. We've had the report from the committee that reviewed the various clauses. It's with both Tama and Mr. Goldsmith. My preference is for a number of those references to completely disappear and for a host to be, as we said, refined so we know what they mean.
So you mentioned something, there were 20-something clauses.
I think at 20-odd, 23 or something, yeah. But we're just working through them. Some obviously have been left to Tama, like the DOC Act and the SOE 1987 Act. Yeah.
So the majority of those 28, more than half you want to just go completely?
Well, my preference is for as many as possible to go completely, and those that remain, it'll be up to obviously all the ministers to call it, but those that remain, they have to be given some lucidity, some coherence.
On the fast track changes, can you just clarify, once the law is enacted, will the new provisions apply to any fast track applications that have been submitted?
Yeah, there's the option for people that are stuck halfway through the process, within reason, for them not to be knocked out of the process, and an option for them to change certain aspects, if necessary, of their application. But I've also said, should there be people who feel that the current changes don't fully solve all their problems, please come to the Select Committee, and we have the opportunity in the committee stages of the House to iron out any egregious omissions.
Okay, but the new clauses, for example, limiting appeal rights to the fast track regime, would they apply to projects that were in train at the time?
I think what we'll do, we'll study carefully the submissions that come to the Select Committee. People have said that they're fearful of retrospectivity, but at the same time, we're enjoying a great deal of interest in this fast track, and we accept that the administrators of the fast track haven't implemented the way in which we thought was the case. But we've got, as a safety valve, the Select Committee process.
Why wasn't something like being able to change applications midway through, why wasn't that sort of caught and dealt with in the original legislation? I mean, that's common in RMAs.
Yeah, so I'm astounded that was denied by EPA. My interpretation of the law, there was enough flexibility for people to go ahead, and where there was an omission, it could be just tidied up. But that has not been the decision that the EPA has taken. I've no doubt the EPA will improve now that the CEO is going.
One more quick one is that you've told me several times now that ministerial decision-making was something that you wanted in this. You wanted to be able to have that sort of authority in it. Obviously, we still don't have exactly that, but the ability to issue these policy statements widely, does that somewhat satisfy that for you?
Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable for the government of the day to clearly project what it was elected to achieve. We were elected to expand the minerals footprint and grow the minerals industry. Now, I accept amongst the 40-odd thousand people that carried effigies of my good self and protested against us, they don't like mining. But meet me at the ballot box.
Do you think is it the EPA? Is a large part of what you've introduced, what you're proposing? Is it to do with the fact that the EPA sort of didn't get the message on the first iteration?
Oh yeah, they definitely missed the memo. But more importantly, you can't use legislation to change an institutional or bureaucratic culture. That's got to come from the top of the organisation. So it's a bit unfair to blame the legislators when the various administrators and other stakeholders have come up with interpretations which we don't believe properly reflected the kaupapa of the law.
Thank you.